Hey everyone, welcome to the 411 Mamas. My name is Jeannie. I am going to be a guest speaker here on the 411 Mamas channel. I have my own channel called A Little About a Lot. I'll have all the links below. Nicole from Mommy Tips by Cole asked me to do a little guest spot on here, so I wanted to share a little bit about myself really quick before I get into our topic for today. And my name is Jeannie. I have 4 kids. My oldest one just turned 7 last week, so I only know up to 7 years old. So I wanted to talk a little bit about homeschooling because on my channel I had made a video and I just had mentioned something about homeschooling and I had a lot of questions about it. So I just thought I would touch base on homeschooling, why we decided to homeschool, and so on and so forth. So first of all, we live in Southern California. I am Canadian, so and my husband is originally from New York. So our upbringings in education are very different. Going to school in Canada and him going to school in New York. He also in high school went to a Christian private school. I went to public school. So we had very different experiences. So when we decided to have kids and we're thinking about what we wanted to do, we were kind of going back and forth. So when my daughter was 3, she already wanted to go to school, and we had been doing, flashcards and stuff like that at home. She's super studious, super smart. We weren't at all thinking of sending her to school because she was so young. She was 3 years old. But a lady at our church was a teacher at the Christian preschool, and she said, I really think you should put her in preschool because I think she would do really, really well because she's super social and, like I said, really studious, likes studying. So we put her in just twice a week for half days. So it was from 8:30 to 11:30. So really short half days, just twice a week. More for like the socialization aspect of it. So we did that for I want to say like half a year. And because she was still only 3 the next year, they said, why don't you send her back? So we actually ended up sending her for another year at the Christian preschool, again, just for half days, twice a week. And she absolutely loved it. She loved going to school. She was always sad that she couldn't stay for the whole day like everybody else. I had a hard time sending her because I was not ready to send her to school that young. But she just loved it so much, and we knew so many people at that preschool, so we really felt good and we felt like she was in a safe place. So we sent her there, and then we had always said that we were going to homeschool. So we looked into that. We have quite a few friends who homeschool. We have some friends who charter school, and then we have friends that have their kids in public school. So we decided to homeschool for kindergarten, and unlike most families where a lot of times it's the mom that homeschools, my husband actually did the homeschooling because he is such an amazing teacher. He's really, really good at explaining things. He really enjoys it, and my daughter responds really well to him, and he kind of likes having that one-on-one time with them. So we call it homeschool, but it's actually online school technically. So basically what it is they send you a box with all the curriculum and things like that, and then every week you go online and you submit all of your work. She'll take like tests online and things like that. And then there's a teacher that actually calls every so often just to talk to her about things. And she'll be in front of the computer, and the teacher will satellite be on our computer and say, okay, what does this word say? What does this word say? Just so the teacher can hear her reading and kind of interact with her. So although it's homeschooling, there is a little bit of that accountability. So we did that for the year, and she did so good. She did so good. And I think that a lot of that has to do with her personality as well, because she is really studious. She's one of those kids, like when we were done for the day, she wanted to do more. And even just on her own time, she's always drawing, always writing, always reading. So I feel like for her personality too, it just worked really well with her. And also for our family and our lifestyle, it was really nice because we could do the homeschool in a couple hours, and we kind of had the day free to go do things. Or if we had to go out of town or something like that, it was really good because we could do it wherever we were, because we would just bring our laptop with us, or the books that she needed to read, or the workbooks that she needed to work through. And a lot of days we would do several days in one day if we knew that we were going to be out of town or we had to do something or whatever. So for us, one of the downfalls, I guess, to homeschooling was we really wanted our kids to be very social. And I know that there's a lot of homeschool groups and you can do extracurricular. And so because of that, we weren't that worried about the social aspect of it, because we take our kids everywhere with us and they are exposed to every type of people, every age group of people, and they do a lot of extracurricular activities. So we weren't really worried about that social aspect that I think a lot of people are worried about when it comes to homeschooling. So this year she really wanted to go to public school, and I think a big part of that was she's very social and she loves hanging out with her friends at church and with her cousins and stuff like that. And I think when we would drive home and we would see, you know, groups of kids and stuff, she'd be like, oh mom, I want to get a backpack. Mom, I want to do this. And she just really wanted to go to school, and kind of, because I think she missed the preschool too, because the preschool that she went to was so awesome and everyone was so friendly and she made some really good friends there. So we live really close to the elementary school in our district, so my husband actually went to the elementary school, talked to the principal, asked about the curriculum, asked about the teachers, and you know how everything worked. And we just said to ourselves, okay, if we send her to public school, we have to be very involved, because we just, I mean, we want her to get a really good education, but we also want her to have a good experience. We don't want you know, to put her in a situation that isn't the best for her, you know. And there are a lot of things too that we wanted to know what was in the curriculum too, because there are certain things that, you know, we don't feel at her age she needs to learn about. And then there's also other things. We're Christian and we wanted to make sure we knew what they were teaching her about other things too. So those are kind of some considerations too, and that part was really awesome. The principal was like, you know, you can get a schedule of what they're going to learn. If there are certain things that you feel uncomfortable with, you can always pull her out for those days. You know, so there was a lot of communication, and I think that's always key, is to be very involved and communicate with their teachers and with the principal. And we know her teacher, you know, me or my husband always pick her up. We always say hi to the teacher, ask how she's doing. One great thing is the teacher was like, where did you go for kindergarten? Because she does so well in her reading, her cognitive, her social skills. Like she is at the top of her class. Whoever was her teacher did a really great job. And of course I was like, her teacher was her dad, and I was so proud of my husband, because she's at the top of her class and she does so well. She's so respectful. And I do think a lot of it has to do with personality. So now my son, who just turned 5, we are going to start homeschooling him in this coming year for kindergarten as well. We wanted to send him to the preschool too, so he kind of had the same experience as our daughter, but we since moved and the preschool is quite far, and because it's a private Christian preschool, it's really expensive, so we couldn't afford it either. So he's going to homeschool him for kindergarten, and we'll see how that goes, because my son has a very different personality from my daughter, so I don't know if it's going to work the same. Although I have so much confidence in my husband that I know he's going to do a really good job, and I am like craft lady, so when it comes to art, English, crafts, snack time, lunch, I got it covered. So we're going to kind of follow my daughter's footprints, homeschool him for kindergarten, see where he's at. Maybe we'll continue homeschooling. Maybe we'll send him to the public school that she's at. Even with her, we're not quite 100% sure what we're going to do next year. We just said we would decide as a family and as a couple each year what was best for our family. We don't want to say she's going to forever be in public school or forever be homeschooled, forever go to private school. We've even looked into charter schools. So we just kind of said, you know, we're going to decide year to year how we feel, how their experiences are. And there's a lot of things also that change in education, in the education systems. Some laws that might be passed that we don't totally feel comfortable with. So again, we're just going to take it year by year, week by week, month by month, day by day. And I think that's the best that you can do, is be involved, you know, trust your mother instinct, but also, you know, if I trust my mother instinct, I would never let my kids go. You do have to let go a little bit. And it was hard when the first day my daughter went, I like cried and I like waited in the parking lot the whole day because I was like, what if she needs me? Anyways, you kind of have to decide what is the best for you, what's the best for your family, how they're going to get their social interaction in. And then at the same time, at public school, you have to answer some questions that maybe you weren't ready for. I think a big thing for me, her going to a public school, is like, oh my goodness, when she started, she was 6 years old. I think, oh my goodness, there's a whole part of her life that now I don't know, you know, because up to that point, you're with them all the time, you know who they interact with, you know the people in their life, and now she has friends, teachers, peers that I don't know all of them, and that control freak in me is like, it's hard to let go, you know. But you got to trust and communicate with your kids. Like, whoever picks her up always asks her how the day went when she comes home. If my husband picked her up, I try to talk to her about like the things that happened to her, people she met, people she talked to. So anyways, if you have any questions, concerns, thoughts, advice, anything, please leave a comment below and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. I will have a link below also to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.